So I'm here today with James Jackson, who is the negotiation coach. How are you doing today, James?
Very well, thank you, Leon. How are you?
Had a good day and saw you yesterday. In fact, yesterday and the day before, for those of you who are watching this in March, the end of March, 2 days in a row, two red shirts with Fore Business.
It was indeed. It was a good 2 days for me.
There we go. Only reason you didn't win a third today was because
I'm working.
I wasn't playing golf. There we are.
Yeah, I'm not playing golf
No.
today. I'm working. I'm working.
Why don't you share with people what you do as the negotiation coach? And more importantly, just let people know who you're looking to meet so they get some ideas as to who to think about to introduce you to.
Yeah, definitely. So, as a negotiation coach, I'm here to help individuals and small to medium-sized companies to take control, grow in confidence, and maximize value for themselves and all their companies. So the people that I look for within organizations are sales directors, commercial directors, L&D directors, anyone that has a commercial role or is in charge of a team and wants to drive that team forward and grow that team and maximize profit or value, whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So in essence, that's what I do. And I have various ways of going about it through my training and coaching programs that I provide.
And do you want to give maybe an example or two of the types of businesses that you've worked with in the past?
Yeah, so in the past, my background's within healthcare, but I have worked across multiple sectors. What I do now, I think the real learning comes in the coaching. And I like to work more with the smaller to medium-sized companies now, the startups, the entrepreneurs of the world, to give them a position in a negotiation room whereby they're on the front foot rather than the back foot, and letting their own pressures get the better of them.
Why would you say that you're enjoying working with that type of business now, the startup, medium-sized businesses? Why is that working for you, do you think?
I think for me, having worked in the corporate world for the last 10 years of my career, I feel when it comes to training and personal development and coaching, the smaller companies are the ones that probably have shallower pockets compared to these bigger companies, and they're the ones that need the training the most to put themselves on the front foot, as I've mentioned. So if there's anything that I can give back to them from what I've learned through my experience, I find that really rewarding, and I almost go on that journey with them. Whereas in the big corporate world, not that I do not work in that world, there's probably less attachment or less of a journey from my end, and that's why I like working with the smaller companies.
That's really interesting, because I think we all know and appreciate that the more you give, the more that seems to come back as well, wouldn't you say?
Yes, definitely. That's the approach I want to take, because there's a lot of training companies out there, and I take more of a coaching perspective, really get to understand the individual, what challenges they face, because everyone's different. We're human at the end of the day, and it could be a confidence issue for one person, or it could be a process issue for another. So no matter what it is, I'll focus on the person rather than the company as a whole, if you like.
Yeah, and lots of different personality styles out there, aren't there?
Exactly.
And moving on from the coaching side of things, you have been a Fore Business member for quite a short period of time now. The question that I really want to ask you now is, why initially, just a month in, already an Ultimate member? What value did you see in that from quite literally day one?
So I originally joined as a flexi, but I think after my first session with Fore, I realised that the real value from this is going to come through being an Ultimate member. For me, starting a business, I very much want to try and meet as many people as I possibly can. And the best way of doing that is to be able to join as many groups as I can and meet lots of people on the golf course or at the venue itself, even if I can't play golf on that particular day. And that's what Ultimate membership gives you. It gives you that access. And I think it's a very small price to pay as much golf as you want and network as much as you want and meet all these people, which will obviously provide you with many referrals. And if there's any way of helping each other out, it's reaching out to a larger community.
And the thing that I've noticed that you're doing already is you're not just going to a group once, you're going once and then rebooking for the second month and the third month. I can see that because you came down to the New Forest group yesterday and already have booked on for the April meeting. What was your reasoning behind that?
I think the main reason for me around that is after talking to a few other Ultimate members, not even Ultimates, just the Flexies or the Standard members, they said, I think the real, I'll say the value that comes through networking is building relationships. And I think if you're going to go around, try and go around as many clubs as you can to meet new people, where there's nothing wrong with that, I think to really get to know someone, you've got to meet them more than once or twice. So I think going back to certain clubs within the vicinity of where I live, I think that's going to really build those relationships, and that's what I want to get from my business.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And even as a Flexi member, you can actually do that. Have your home club and then maybe pick one other club and go back to there maybe 2, 3, 4 times and actually get to know people and get them knowing you even better as well. Finally, back to being the negotiation coach. If you had to give people a top tip to do with negotiation, what would your top tip to people be?
Top tip. There are many, but I would have to say taking control. So taking control of the process, most importantly, once you've got an understanding of the context of the negotiation you're going into. Taking control of the other party, understanding exactly what their key drivers are, key challenges are, etc., what they're going to ask you. And lastly, most crucially, is taking control of yourself, such as your behaviors and the things that you say in a negotiation environment. So if you've got control in all those areas, you're most likely going to put yourself on the front foot in a negotiation setting. So that would be my top tip.
Fantastic. So control, control, control.
Control, control, control.
And things move on very, very well. Well, look, James, it's been a really good one-to-one. It's been great actually seeing you out there networking, already doing everything you can to try and connect people up, which is really what networking is all about and what Fore Business is all about as well. So great having this one-to-one. Great that people out there on Facebook in the Fore Business groups and also on LinkedIn are getting a chance to see this, get to know you and how you might be able to help not just them, but the people that they know as well. And that's really where these videos come into their own. Look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time.